lapel shirt. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the First Time Pictures podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony Ruth, joined by my co-host Julian Lizama. Last movie we did was The Odyssey, and so before we do Spider-Man next week, we're going to be reviewing the movie The Invite, starring Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Penelope Cruz, Edward Norton, and also directed by Olivia Wilde. Before we get into that,
what are they invited to?
a little dinner party
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it.
and nothing more.
Good. I like a wholesome movie.
Yeah. Have you been watching anything?
What are we watching?
Before we get into the review, is there anything you want to tell the viewers about? Anything you want to suggest?
Yes. Dude, I've already talked to you about this, but I don't know if I've talked to you about it since. But I've been on my Beatles kick recently. So
Oh yeah.
in the past week, I probably watched like 5 Beatles documentaries. Well, technically 3, but one of them was a 3-parter. So I watched the Beatles Get Back documentary, which is a 3-parter, about 3 hours each. And then I watched the Beatles Let It Be documentary. And then I just finished the Beatles 64 documentary. And then right now I'm watching the Beatles Anthropology or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Anthology.
Yeah. Just kind of going through the history. So for no reason at all, I know so much about the Beatles right now. Like for the first time ever, like I feel like I'm rediscovering them again. So it's been cool. On top of watching all of that every day, I've just been bumping the Beatles, like going album by album. And, every time I'll finish an album, I'll send you what I think about it. I'm like, okay, this album, no misses, no misses, no misses. So it's been fun. It's just fun, finding a little something you can do that's not like, you don't have to spend too much time to throw a Beatles album on or like, while I was cleaning my room, throw a documentary on. It's like, they're talking about some of the same stories and just kind of solidifying the legacy of the Beatles that I know you and I probably think the same thing, that Beatles are one of the best, if not the best bands out there. So, yeah, if you guys haven't checked out any of the Let It Be or Get Back documentaries on Disney Plus, highly recommend checking them out. It's just inspiring, very cool to see, this very famous band when they were at the top of their game, just creating music. It's pretty cool, very inspiring. So, that's all I've really been watching. What about you, bro? What have you been watching?
I did want to say too, I think one of those songs I sent you was from their new album. Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr just came out with another album in May.
Like recently?
This year. Yeah, one of the songs I sent you was
Really?
from a 2026 album. I'm like, bro,
What?
any day now they're gonna kick the bucket.
Oh.
Like it's just a matter of time.
No.
Yeah, any day
Oh, that's
now.
cool.
Like I hope they live forever, but yeah, I think one of the reasons they live, they look so healthy for their age, is because they're working. Like how they talk about people like once they retire, they become so like sedentary that they like their body breaks down rapidly. I think they're just not breaking down because Paul McCartney, I think until this year or last year, he was still touring and still working, and same with Ringo Starr. Like they're just they're really in it for the love of the game. Like they don't care if they're like the most popular people right now. They're still gonna be writing music. They're still gonna be releasing stuff. They just can't stop.
Dude, and I always think about, I'm like, bro, Anthony's first concert ever, bro.
Paul McCartney.
Like, that's a flex, bro. And every time I see him on screen, I'm like, damn, Anthony got to see him in concert. I want to go see him in concert.
I was within an arm's length. I was like, Paul. No, I was in the
That's
way,
so cool.
nosebleeds.
Oh.
I was nowhere near. I was in the
Bro,
nosebleeds.
why'd you lie to me, bro?
I saw a teeny tiny little Paul McCartney, but it was cool. It was still cool.
You're in the same building as him. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I was a couple 100 feet away.
What have you been watching though?
Actually, We just watched Homecoming last night, and
Yeah.
because we're preparing for the new Spider-Man movie, and I
Yeah.
thought, you know what? I wasn't very impressed the first time I watched it,
Yeah.
and like I was excited to give it a second chance. And it pretty much just confirmed all my original feelings about it. I'm
Wait.
like, this movie's
What?
so goddamn mid, like just
Oh my
so
god. Why?
so average. Like it just makes me feel absolutely nothing. I don't think there's a single point in this movie that made me like. I think it got a good maybe 7 to 8 like laugh out loud moments, but
Okay.
besides that, just I don't know. So I think it's because the concept that they try to go for is, oh, he's a high schooler, so he's not fighting big villains. He's helping a lady find directions, and like he has a
Yeah.
very boring, and he's craving for more. But is he ready? Yeah, generally that to me just made the film like I love that concept, but at the same time it felt so boring to me. Like when I think back on the other Spider-Man movies I've seen, there's these like very intense fight scenes where he's not just this complete incompetent. Like even like the last time I watched them, like for Toby and Andrew, their first movies, they're also in high school, and they just don't seem as like like I just felt like they dialed it to 11. Like maybe if his high school and like immaturity was at like a 9 or 10, that's fine. But it felt like they boosted it to 11 where this guy's like in 7th grade. This is not a high schooler, bro. Like this guy seems like he's in 7th grade who just got powers,
Bro.
and it just felt
Dude.
so boring most of the time. And then when the
Yeah.
movie ended, I was like, they never even fought. Like the entire time he's just
The
chased.
fire.
He
Yeah.
just chased him, and at the end the suit explodes, and then Tony Stark's
Yeah.
like, "Wow, good job." I'm like, you didn't do anything different. Like
You didn't
you
fight
just
him.
yeah, you didn't like figure out a way to beat him. He didn't like outsmart the villain in the end. He didn't connect with them. It literally just the suit explodes, and then it's like, "You did it, Peter." I'm like, "Not really. You didn't really do it. Like you showed up, you made it really hard for him to escape, but he didn't I don't know. It just didn't feel like he actually did anything."
Bro, that I don't know, like the whole high school thing. When I watch freaking Toby Maguire, like that's a college student, acting like a stereotypical quote unquote dork, like, oh, I sit by myself, I'm so nerdy, I can't talk to no one. It's like that's not realistic versus Tom Holland. Us nerds in high school, we were nerds, but we weren't like freaking casted aside like socially incompetent. Like we could have our nerd out. He was nerd, he was smart, but he was still like cool and chill. He had his friends. Like that seems more normal to me than like how they were trying to portray like Toby Maguire's like very nerdy on, like he can't even talk to anybody because he's so like awkward. I don't know, I can't resonate with that. And yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said. The fight scene, when I watched it recently with my brothers, I was like, dang, like he didn't even win that. Like it was like a
Right?
lucky moment. He would have gotten away if his suit was fine.
Yeah.
Like
There's
Peter
actual
Parker,
no fight scene really.
he
Like when
did
I think
stop him
about
though.
Tobey
He stopped
Maguire,
him.
bro, that visceral like hand to hand, you see his mask torn up, bomb explodes in his face, he has
Yeah.
blood like running down his lips, like it's so intense to me, and that makes me feel so like invested in the fight, like there's real stakes. This
Yeah.
guy just and Tom Holland should be like, oh my goodness,
Ah!
deactivate insta oh. I'm trying to help you. I'm like, okay, whatever. Again, though, I did want to say that I do love like what they're going for. Like the concept in
Yeah.
itself is not a bad concept because it's so heavily inspired by the Ultimate comics, and I've read those comics. So there's a
Oh,
scene
nice.
in the Ultimate comics where, and this came out in the early 2000s, so this was way before Tom Holland. There's a scene in the Ultimate comics where he goes to and he busts this heist, and all the robbers are wearing an Avengers mask, like exactly like the movie. Like
Oh.
like they take so much inspiration from that, from those comics specifically. I'm like, I get it. Like, there's so much visual, like one to one, but then I think also it's on the director, because like 20 minutes in, it felt just so, I don't know. It didn't feel like very interesting or exciting, and I wasn't like, there's no great fight scene with him, and with him saving the elevator. Half of that scene is him just climbing up a wall, and then he's scared of heights. I'm like, I felt like you're supposed to get over that on like the first time you ever swing. Why are you suddenly scared of heights? It didn't make any sense to me. And then yeah, so just that, like the idea of him always constantly just being a scared little boy, I feel like you're supposed to get over that when you first get your powers. Like there's even a scene where he's watching on the laptop of him stopping a moving vehicle running into a bus, And so when you
Yeah.
go from that, you obviously aren't that scared of certain things, and then suddenly you're scared of heights. Like it just doesn't translate to me. I think the director, John Watts, I'm not a fan of his like at all. I just think he makes such boring basic decisions in the movies, and you know Tom Holland deserves a little bit better, because Tom Holland is bringing it. The costume designers are bringing it. Like so many people are like bringing their best, and I think
Yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah, like
Is
if I
he
had to give it a
directing the
rating,
fourth one?
no, he's not. He directed
Okay.
all three, John Watts, and he's
Oh,
not
wow.
directing the fourth one. Yeah,
Interesting. So it's gonna have a different tone of all three.
yeah, you could tell from the trailer too. Like visually looks a lot different than all his previous ones.
That'll be interesting because, having a trilogy in one type of, aesthetic and then kind of switching it for the fourth one's
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. I didn't know that.
I hope it's the beginning of like a new chapter where we start to get more movies like Tobey Maguire's or Andrew Garfield's, where it's a little bit more intense, you know.
Like gritty, like more real and
Yeah, because I
punchy.
don't I don't care if his regular life is so playful, but I want his like crime fighting to be gritty, because when he gets into that fighting, it's supposed to be a little bit more serious and dangerous, but it doesn't always feel like that in his movies. So final rating 6 out of 10 for
Mm,
Homecoming.
not bad. That's more than half.
Okay, 5 out of 10.
You would say that. Wait, okay. Quick question on something you said earlier, and then we can get into the invite. You said,
Okay.
like, for this movie, like, you didn't feel, like, the emotion. But do you feel like superhero stuff needs to have so much emotion? Because, like, say when you read the comics, maybe they don't really dive into this, like, super deep emotional arc for the character. It's just like,
They
oh, this
do,
character.
bro. It's not just flashy panels.
Is that how it is supposed to be? Like, supposed to have a lot of emotion behind the action? Because I guess what I'm thinking is, like, when you're reading a comic, it's like the action and, like, you get base subplots of, like, he's in high school, he's dealing with this, that, and this, but it's not like, oh, that was very gripping, emotional, like, I'm going to cry type of thing. So, is that how it's supposed to be done? And do you feel like
Yeah, I
comic
mean,
stuff
that's
needs
how
to
I
have it?
feel. That's how I feel when I read any really manga. I'm not pulled in unless I don't really care about the characters unless there's some emotional weight to it at all. Unless it's like purposely goofy. But even like I said before, One Punch Man can be purposely goofy, but then there's super like emotional scenes where you're suddenly inspired and you feel these emotions for a character out of nowhere. So I'm like, you can always do both. It doesn't have to be no substance at all. You can like make it funny and goofy and then include substance as well. And I just felt like they did include it, but it just didn't resonate with me personally.
Okay, so like in comics, they would expand on like some of these like maybe deeper themes,
Oh
and so
yeah,
that's kind
there's
of why.
like huge
Okay.
talks between him and Aunt May where she like they get very emotional because of the things that like he's been dealing with, and uh yeah, there's like death scenes, there's like classmates that he loses in the comics, and it's like pretty horrific. Like Gwen Stacy, spoiler alert, like the way they do Carnage is like it's this like entity that is like a venom liquid, but it actually just sucks up the life force of like every person it touches. And so Gwen Stacy's walking home and actually runs into it, and then Peter Parker discovers her like her crippled body that had like the life sucked out of it, and he like
Damn.
discovers his dead classmate, and it's like super intense and emotional. There's like huge scenes that like are very emotionally effective, I think. And I don't know.
Well, we're gonna go watch it this Friday. Oh, I'm watching it this Friday. I got it in Dolby. I'm guessing you got it in Dolby too.
Yeah, for this
Let's
Sunday.
go. All right. Well, that'll be next week's talk. Superman 4. What's it called?
Man of Tomorrow.
Man
Superman?
of Tomorrow. No.
Superman.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man 4.
Spider-Man.
Day of Tomorrow.
Brand new
Oh.
day.
Oh, brand new day. Okay. Swapping it up. Brand new day, brand new director. I see what they did there.
Brand new day. Brand new director.
All right. You ready to get invited to something, bro? A nice dinner?
Let's do it.
I got a little synopsis here.
Okay.
The invite follows Joe and Angela. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I said Angelina. Okay. The invite follows Joe and Angela, a married couple whose relationship has quietly drifted apart over the years. After impulsively inviting their new neighbors over for a dinner, an awkward evening slowly turns into an honest and emotional conversation about love, disappointment, and the lives people imagine they would have. What begins as an uncomfortable social gathering becomes a surprisingly heartfelt look at whether damaged relationships can still find hope. Yeah, dude, what did you know about the movie going in? Like, what were some, like, I don't know if you saw a trailer or if you knew
I did
anything
see
about
a
it.
trailer.
Okay, so you kind of knew the premise.
Yeah, and so I do like Olivia Wilde because I used to watch House a lot, and she was one of the main characters in House. Seth Rogen, I've loved all his recent stuff with the studio. And Edward Norton is one of those guys who are just like any movie he's in, he makes better. Like he's never been in a movie and made it worse. He always makes a movie better. And I don't think I've ever seen Penelope Cruz in anything. So this is the first time watching her performance. Yeah, and the trailer to me looked like an episode. I told you this. It looked like an episode of The Studio. The way, the dynamics of him, being just the socially awkward scenarios where there's all sorts of tension and it's constantly like a tug of war between the characters on screen. And
Yeah.
I was excited to see it. As soon as I saw the trailer, I'm like, I knew I wanted to see it. What about you?
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I was just like, Seth Rogen coming out with a movie. I was like, let's go. Like, I was very excited to see him like front and center on the stage. Like, we did watch what's it called? The Studio. They're actually making season 2 right now, but so I was super excited to see him in a movie because I feel like you've heard Seth Rogen's name. Like, he was in the Mario movie. He was in the Mandalorian movie. So he's had some cameos here and there, but to see him again, I was super excited. And even to just go see a comedy, bro, because I feel like I haven't seen a comedy in theater this year. I'm trying to think. And they're not making too many comedies nowadays. So I was super, super excited to see a comedy. And, yeah, I mean, I don't really know any of these other actors. I didn't know Edward Norton, Penelope Cruz. Olivia Wilde, though, I heard she had like some controversy recently, and I was like, what does she do? Do you know like anything about her? Like why people kind of dogging on her?
I think it was something with one of her previous movies. I don't remember at all. I just remember there was also this very unflattering photo they took of her, and then it was like a fisheye lens, like super close to her face, and they started like making fun of her, and like it was like a tiny little meme for a little bit. But she was very chill about it. Like she laughed at it because she was like, I know I obviously don't look like that, but that's a very unflattering photo. But yeah. I don't really know the specifics, and honestly, I don't know if it was even that big enough to where like I wanted to go remind myself what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know nothing about her, but she did direct this movie. This is her third movie that she's directed. Something cool about the movie that I found out is that this movie is actually a remake of another movie that's called The
Mm,
People Upstairs. Um, and that
really?
movie was adapted from a play. And yeah, real quick, the movie has done 31.8 million dollars worldwide, um, with a $12 million budget. So not that bad. I bet a big majority of that went to the actors' salaries. Even this weekend, bro. After all these big movies coming out, this movie is still number 6 on box office, doing almost $3 million just this weekend, just these past weekend. And I'm like, wow, it's still kicking. It's been out for almost 2, maybe 3 weeks now, and it's still doing really good. It was shot in 23 days, which is cool to hear. Like, they shot it in
Yeah.
chronological
All
order too,
all set
which
in one room.
and that's what I was gonna ask you. This is why I thought it would be fun for you to watch it, because I really liked that it was done like in one room, basically. Kind of like I remember reading the 12 Angry Men back in high school, and then finding out it's a movie and it's kind of done in this one room. What did
Yeah.
you feel about like the whole being done in one scene, or like one location basically for the whole movie?
It's pretty cool. I was hoping they never moved it. I'm like, just keep it going. There's so much. I feel like there was so much momentum moving from scene to scene, where I was always excited to see what came next. Where I felt like if they switch locations, it's gonna like kill the momentum, and it's gonna be a hard
Yeah.
pivot. So the longer they kept it there, like I felt like the better it got.
Yeah, because the thing I really liked about it is like you just have these four actors. It's just them four. So you really like,
Yeah.
if one of these actors kind of sucked and you like weren't feeling them, then I feel like everything kind of starts to fall apart. But I think how they started off, Seth Rogen's this tired guy, and then you have this like up his ass wife type of deal, and you're like, what is this dynamic going on? Because like you, I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, this movie's about an invite, a special invite, and I'm like, that's what the whole movie's gonna be about, just that. And then the
Yeah.
fact that they're like, no, they're diving into this dynamic and this. I'm like, man, when are they gonna invite them? Like, when is that gonna happen? And so it kind of had me a little confused the whole time, because these characters are like, they're like developing all these characters scene by scene. I'm like, man, like,
Oh, yeah,
what?
that's confusing for you, right?
I'm like,
Coming
what are they
from
doing here? What's
coming
going
from
on?
Homecoming, it's like, what's this
Okay.
character development? What's this character development? What is this?
Bro just finds any moment to dog on me. I can't. You remember how you made that comment last week about pretentious Greek people, bro? Like, that's you right now,
Yes.
bro. Yeah.
Wow. No, I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll own
Thank
that.
you.
I'll always be
Thank
pretentious
you.
versus
Yes.
MCU.
So don't say nothing
I'm
about those
so
Greek
anti
people, bro,
MCU.
because you'll be sitting right next to them if you knew some Greek stuff, bro. Like, if you
No,
had the
but only
salt.
I'm valid. But only I'm
You're
valid.
right. You're right. My bad. You're a first time pictures host. You're valid, bro. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
We
I
set
didn't
the
mean to clock
status
you there.
quo.
You're right. You're right. The pretentious people listening agree with you.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, like, you hope they didn't leave the room, because maybe it would have released some of that tension. The music had me and Kaylin like gripping, because they would have scenes of like just like dun dun dun, like building up like sound, and it's like you see
Yeah.
that, especially Olivia Wilde's
The
character. She was
anxiety.
so, yeah, she made me anxious like for her. Like, she had
Yeah.
like beady eyes, like angry mom, almond mom vibes, like just so like you almost don't like her, but then like they develop her.
Desperate
Yeah,
to find that, or for someone to give her value, like super desperate because she doesn't have or see any value in herself.
yeah, yeah. But so shout out Olivia Wilde. I actually kind of liked her after this one. I think she did really good with Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's
Yeah.
always like himself in, I swear, almost every movie. Even though this one he
Yeah.
felt a little studio vibey, a little more serious, but
Hmm.
you could
And she
still
was on the
tell.
studio too with that episode of, where
Oh
they're looking for the real.
yeah, yeah. I
She was
forgot
the
about
director of
that.
that movie. I'm like, oh,
She
they
want,
might have like felt like they had good chemistry or something and
yeah,
decided to work together again.
bro. fun fact: this movie was supposed to come out 2021. It got delayed, and then they had like a bidding
Really?
war. Yeah, they had a bidding war between like Sony, Apple, Netflix. They were all trying to buy the rights to this film, and Olivia Wilde said, "No, I want it to go on screen. Like I don't want it straight to streaming."
Yeah.
And the original cast was supposed to be Amy Adams, Paul Rudd, and Tessa Thompson. So those are supposed to be. I don't know which
Ugh.
characters they were gonna play, but I was like, I'm kind of glad. If I saw
This
Paul
is
Rudd in
such
this,
a better cast. Yeah.
yeah, if I saw Paul Rudd, I would not take him seriously. Especially if he was gonna play Edward Norton's character Hawk, like definitely
Yeah.
not. Like that would have not
Definitely
been it.
not. Yeah, that character fit Edward Norton so well. Like he played it so good and so convincingly. I was cracking up in almost every line he would say. Where he's like, "I just love how honest you are."
Well,
like the
yeah,
super pretentious. Like I'm cool with everything.
I'm cool as a cucumber, man.
Yeah, I'm mentally healthy.
Dude,
Which he kind of was.
I love that scene where he walks in. After they're arguing, he's like, "Were you guys like arguing?" They're like, "Nah, we're good."
Oh,
We're good. He's
yeah.
like, I was standing outside the door. We heard everything. I was dying, bro.
Dude, every time they like would put him on the spot, had me dying laughing because it's almost like they didn't care for like, I guess beating around the bush. They would just
Like
come
these
out and be
social
like,
norms. Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, we're sorry about having sex upstairs, and we saw you on the camera. Like they
The
always
camera
brought,
scene.
yeah. I love every time they address the elephant in the room. I'm like, this is so funny and so good.
They were clocking that tea, bro. They were not
Every
afraid
single
to be.
time.
And that's so funny because like I don't know. At least me and Kaylin, we've hung out around a bunch of like couple friends,
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I just want to be like, hey, is right now not a good time? Do I need to leave? Like,
right?
I feel awkward here too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you feel the tension. You can tell.
We can hang out another time. And I love that because the first thing I told Kim, I was like, man, I wish I could say that. Like, I wish sometimes.
You
if I'm in an
totally
awkward-
should. She'd be
Bro,
like,
like-
actually, you're very passive aggressive just now. We can come back later if
Hey,
you want
is
us
this
to.
a good time? Like, we can go grab some water. I don't know. Like, give me a break here. But
Right?
I just like how honest they were, and that's kind of what their character was too. Because like Olivia Wilde's character, Angela, she was like trying to play face and trying to be perfect and do everything. And Seth Rogen's character,
Impress them.
yeah, exactly. And Joe was just like, man, like I don't even want y'all here. I'm gonna.
Yeah, he kind of
I don't even
despised
care.
them.
He almost wanted to ruin the
Ruin
hangout
the night.
almost. Yeah, like he like get out of my house type of thing.
For real.
Which-
He was a huge party pooper. He was looking to kill the vibe at any moment. Any moment he had an opportunity to kill the vibe, he took it.
Dude, like that, like it also made me like cringe during some scenes, like when Hawk's character he tries playing the music of Joe and that hit album, and then he's like, no,
Oh, yeah.
stop it, like you
And he
just like feel, yeah.
the awkwardness, or when
Yeah,
he
just-
slammed the piano. He
Oh,
was like,
it's so
no.
awkward, dude. Like
I
so
know.
bad, dude. And the funny thing, so when me and Kaylin we got these tickets, we kind of got them last second, so we had to sit all the way at the top, and
Okay.
nobody was sitting there except one guy, right? So it's just us two and maybe 4 seats down, one other guy. So we're just sharing this row. And you know me, bro, like I laugh at scenes no one's laughing at. Like
Uh-huh.
if just someone does something funny or whatever, I'll just start laughing. And this guy, like he would not, like he wasn't laughing. And then I swear by the end of it, anytime I would laugh, he would just start laughing with me. So we were like laughing together
okay.
this whole film.
You brought
So
the
at
vibes. You brought
That's
the
what
vibes.
Yes, because it was awkward at first. Like this one guy here just hears me crackling up at like no one's laughing in the theater,
Yeah.
and then me and him started becoming the laughers.
Yeah.
It's actually so funny sitting in the back, bro. You just hear everyone else in front of you, and I was like, these people just hear like like coming from like the back of the room, and it's just me having a good time, bro.
That's so funny you said that because when we were at our theater, like I think almost 90% of the jokes would get a laugh out of everyone there. And then there was one specific guy who had the, like in the back. There was one guy in the back of the top row who was laughing like that. But it made the vibes good because everyone was laughing and having a good time for that movie. I guess you had the same experience.
Yeah, no, it was definitely funny. It was cool,
Mm-hmm.
and like going in, like I told you earlier, like the premise I thought was gonna be kind of about an invite, and it was gonna be all about that. And I knew Seth Rogen would make it funny somehow, but I didn't really know. And I don't know. I started to feel like towards the end when they kind of start diving into like some deep topics, about like relationships and marriage and being with someone for
Sex.
and being with someone for so long, like it started to feel real, and stuff they say like, it was like it's just it became like very sad to me, like out of nowhere, like it was
Yeah.
lighthearted, funny, and then it just becomes like this serious, like talking about real life things, when you've been together with someone for so long, you forget that original spark you had with how she was saying, I ran 10 blocks just to see him again, and we would
Yeah,
sing
that was
and
such a
dance.
sweet moment.
Yeah, and then just to see like, damn, like now like they're at a place where they're at each other's throats, and you have this other couple that kind of is calling that out, and I'm like, dang, what did this movie become out of nowhere? And I don't know if you started to feel that, where you were kind of like, oh, it's shifting gears into somewhere different, if you like that or not. Like, how did you feel when they kind of were diving into those topics?
I loved it because it was a setup for me. It was like a setup since the beginning. It was like, uh,
Yeah.
what is the first scene is establishing like where are these people in their marriage, and every interaction, every
Yeah.
line of dialogue shows that they are at a point in their marriage where they can't stand each other. And so, the invite is supposed to put them in a situation where they put their characters where it forces them to address their issues and their own character flaws, but by using some sort of external plot device, but not just the invite with like having a sort of picture perfect couple where they're so open and free sexually, and they're
Yeah.
like adventurous and they're very understanding, and he even speaks Spanish to her, and so it like forces them to like look at themselves and then also address it. So I love that, like the more it went into that, like that's just what I was looking for. That's what I want in a movie, where I want to see characters
Yeah.
like address character flaws and go through changes, or even see how they deal with a problem whenever it's presented to them. Like, are they gonna be the type of person to double down, or like it showed Penelope Cruz, she was the type of person as soon as she was done telling everyone to shut the f up, like 10 seconds later she's like, I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
she immediately
Yeah.
self-reflected and started apologizing and realized that that wasn't right. But you see the contrast with Seth Rogen. He's just doubling down every single time. He's like, F you guys. Even when they said they had video of him knocking on the door, he's like, no, I know I didn't
That
do
wasn't
that.
me.
Yeah, tripling down, like
Pulls out the
seeing the
video.
dynamics. Yeah, caught in 4K. Yeah, so
Yeah.
funny. So that's like, I swear, this is some of my favorite types of movies where you just
Yeah.
feel the characters growing and there's such high emotions between everyone. It was just like my dream type of movie. I'm like, dude, this is why I go to movies. This is what I love about movies.
No, dude, I literally when I left the theater, I literally was telling Ken, I was like, I think Anthony's gonna like this movie. Like, he's so
Oh
artsy
yeah.
fartsy. Like he lives for this stuff. And
I
literally,
do. You're so right.
I knew it, bro. See, and and that's what I like, something where I went in with an expectation and I left with a different one, and I was still like, no, that was good. Like that,
Right?
whatever it made me feel was maybe better than what I thought going in, and it was like real life stuff. And I think that's kind of what you speak to when you say like the emotional stuff, like real
Uh-huh.
life, like something you can feel that, and like I don't know, like you can feel what they're going through. Like it's just a sad,
Yeah.
sad life, and it's just like, you can picture yourself in these moments. At least I like did a lot of just thinking of like, man, I need to make sure, with my partner that I don't eventually let my life lead down to something like this. Or they talk about the moments like at first like you're full of light and whatever, and then slowly the life you wanted isn't the life you have now. And they talk about
Yeah.
Seth Rogen having these big dreams of being a musician and having a band, and Angela's character going to art school and wanting to be an artist. And then now it's like they live this just like it seems like a good life from the outside, but inside the roots of their relationship, it's actually really bad. And a lot of self-reflecting of just thinking like, okay, later in life, some of these things might be bound to happen. How can we not let these things happen? And just
Yeah.
very true, very real. And I like that because I was going in with the expectation of this is going to be a movie about a couple getting invited to do it with another couple. And I was like,
Yeah.
eh, still funny. I still want to see it, but definitely
Uh-huh.
a different tone leaving the theater.
Yeah, and that's what I love too because it also addresses the point of like if staying. I liked when Penelope Cruz said like you think the daughter doesn't see you know how you are, like you think you're staying together for the daughter, but would she rather have parents that are miserable and together or happy and separate? Like really
Yeah,
think
that's
about that. I'm
true.
like, okay, that's true because it's addressing the fact that if you don't talk and address problems in your marriage, like they're going to fester and they're going to grow and they're going to boil over. And this was like a
Yeah,
movie about that moment of all those issues boiling over and really like exploding in this like climactic scene where they have to address all their issues. Like they how do you expect to be open and have sex or go swinging with another couple if you don't trust each other like in any way? Like they don't trust each other, they barely like each other at this point, and they're
yeah,
pretty much only together for for the child, and that's what they say too. And yeah, I think that's a realistic thing too because there's a lot of couples who don't have that moment of self-reflection and they kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
stay in a miserable marriage for their entire lives, kind of just hating
yeah,
each other. That's also popular in some cultures where they're like, well, I'll just never get divorced. That's just not a thing we do.
yeah,
And it's like some people need to realize like you're gonna hurt people around you and yourselves if you don't either find someone new. Or I also liked what Penelope Cruz said where you can find someone new in getting a in building a new relationship with your partner. So like even if they did divorce, she was making the point like you can still meet someone new by becoming better people yourselves and making a new relationship. Like it doesn't have to
yeah,
be a I want to cut you off and leave you out of my life. Like she said like
yeah.
yeah, you can grow and just it's just a new phase of your life and your friendship.
I also just really like what it also subtly talks about. I mean, I'm not married, but I've been with Kaylin for like 7 years now, and it just talks about. Okay, it talks about.
What? No, no, that wasn't sarcastic. That wasn't sarcastic.
Nah, I peeped that, bro. We're done.
My fault.
I'm swinging the other way. Sorry. But like you say, some people say, if you get in a marriage, I'm not going to get divorced, and like a part of me
Yeah.
agrees with that because when you get married to someone, I feel like that is that commitment you're agreeing to. But that doesn't mean just because you reach the marriage, you reach the finish line, it's like, okay, we're married now, we're good forever. It's like you still have to tend to that relationship, kind of like in the phase of like your honeymoon phase when you're like trying to get the girl and you're doing everything. It's like, you got to keep that up. And the quote that opens up the whole movie is like, one should always be in love. That's the reason why you
That's
should
right.
never get married. You know,
Yeah.
it's like some people see the marriage as that finish line of like, okay, I made it, and they stop loving their partner, and that
That they
I feel like
stop
that
doing the work.
exactly. I think that was like a big core message from that movie of like, and it's like so easy to say, you know what I mean? Like it's so easy to say,
Yeah.
like of course I love my partner, of course like I do everything, but it's like day to day, second to second, like how are you showing that, or how does your partner know? Because Seth
Yeah.
Rogen said Joe's character is like doing everything he can in this movie. He's working, providing. She could stay at home, and like to some people, like that's what they think love is, and like I'm providing for you, but she's always felt cold and empty and alone, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that being the case in their relationships, which again, very surprising.
You're right, because it's like one of the reasons they have so many problems is because they don't address their problems. Like they'll argue about it, and they're in the very opening scene of the movie, they're going in circles like, well, the reason I did this is because you did this, and it's a constant finger pointing. They're not really like opening up, and like they forgot that spark they had, and that's when that finger pointing starts, because it's like they don't really have that love to fall back on anymore, because they kind of let it, or I guess they forgot about it because of the lives that they were living, and like Seth Rogen's character, being consumed by his self-doubt, self-hatred of viewing himself as a failure.
Yeah.
Letting that spill over.
That's real too. And I don't know, for me, my favorite scene of the whole movie is the end scene. I think it's such a like cutesy, beautiful ending to the scene.
I agree. So just hopeful.
Right? You're just like, yes, like it's not over, because in the movie they were even talking about divorce and all this, and you're like, damn, like divorce already? Like,
it ended with them saying like, we're gonna go split, like you go to
like right, and then I don't know, it's just so cute. Like I'm glad they didn't do like a we're happy scene, like montage of like them fixing their relationship or whatever, because I feel like that would have been too on the nose, and I really like how it's just
completely agree.
It just leaves you to be like, I think they'll work it out. Like I think
yes, dude.
I think there's a chance.
I love ending like that, where you get that sense of like it's all gonna work out. Like I don't even need to see it. I just got this like shot of hope, like directly in my veins of like, oh, things will probably be better. Like even if they got divorced, you got this sense of like maybe they're going to do it because they realize they're finding some self-worth, and it'll be better for the child. Like either way, it just felt so hopeful, like you said.
Yeah, and even him just playing the piano, because the whole movie he's supposed to be this artist or this musician, and we never really see him be a musician. And then it's he finds his love again, which like relights his spark to be like, yo, I need to lock in, not just with me, but with my spouse. And like you said, you can build that new relationship in your relationship by fixing some things and changing when your relationship's worth it, because that I don't know, just very sweet, very cutesy, very good ending to a film that I had no idea what direction it was going to go in, but the direction it went was like, yes. But I could be progressive, I'm a little progressive,
Sure.
No.
I disagree, but sure.
Okay. Come on.
Heavily
on the
disagree,
podcast?
but sure.
On the podcast? Bro,
Go ahead.
Seriously? You're outing me, bro? On the pod?
Go ahead.
No.
Mr.
way
progressive.
No way in heck am I ever advocating that you and your partner should try it with someone else. For them, like, not trying to say they were trying to make it like a socially acceptable thing in that one scene where, Hawk and Penelope's, what's her name? Pina and Hawk's character were like, it's so nice and it's intimate and it's, we have a menu, and trying to make it sound.
You're telling me you wouldn't get pegged. Okay.
By a rando, bro? Like, not a rando.
He never said rando.
Okay. When was I talking about pegging, bro? I was talking about swapping, bro. Swinging around, bro. Ain't no way in heck am I ever advocating for that. And that's the only thing where I'm like talking about this movie on the podcast, and I'm gonna have my family listening to like me talking about swinging around. Like, it's just like for me, it does feel a little like, not grimy, but just like, no, I don't think I could advocate for something like that. But movies they try being. Oh, you be swinging around, bro?
I don't think it's something to agree or disagree with. It's just
to like push, to say
I mean,
that
there's
that's
no push. If you're, I think if you can do it and you have that type of trust with your partner, go ahead. There's no reason not to. If you have that trust, like sure, if you don't have that trust, bad idea, of course. But
okay. So you're saying if
yeah.
okay, I trust my partner 1,000%. That doesn't lead to me being like, yeah, man, you can have her. Like that isn't a correlation. So to even say like,
But that's a different type of trust. Like you're saying you trust them not to cheat on you, but it's like, do you trust yourself and your partner with the feelings of like, we can explore and experiment sexually without getting insecure about it? Like if you don't have that insecurity, there's no reason not to experiment or explore sexually. Like do whatever you want sexually.
I'm not that progressive, okay? I'm a little below that. Like wherever that is, like knock me down like 2 notches, I'm there. All right?
You're not progressive at all, bro.
Bro,
You are not progressive at all.
Bro, don't call me out right now, bro. Don't try that.
I'm just saying.
Something I also wasn't really too big a fan on was Penelope's character Pina. Like,
no,
she was funny. She had her moments, like her Latina, I think she's from Portugal or Spain. I think she had that, like, you know, I like Spanish actors when they have like their little accent and whatever. They're sassy, spicy Latinas. You know, that's funny. But she felt like such a, like, my point of view is the correct point of view. Where I was like, girl, like, I ain't taking no advice from you. And I don't know, it was kind of whatever. Like, I didn't really care. But every time she would say, like, try to give wisdom, I'm like, girl, I ain't listening to this. Like, I don't know.
You thought like, who do you think you are?
Just very like, obviously whatever. Like, not that big of a deal. But there's something I'm like, girl, what are you talking about right now? What do you know? Is your relationship perfect? Like, God forbid I get into a conversation with a couple and I just start preaching like my relationship's good because I do this because I'll be swinging around, bro. So we're good. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
That is.
She did have those lenses though, bro, where she was clocking people. You know when she looks at you. Yeah, you know when she looks at any character, she's like, I see through you. I know who you are. She had that vibe of like I know what you're trying to put on, but
yeah, dude,
she sees the real you.
One of the funniest things, I swear, I don't think anyone was laughing in the theater with me. The wine scene where, you know, Olivia Wilde's character Angela, she's like, get the wine, and he's like, the wine, the anniversary wine.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. He's like, the one my uncle said to use for a very special occasion. She's like, yes, get it, like in front of everybody, and then he brings it out so reluctantly. And they're like, this is a good wine. Tell your uncle I said thank you. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
No one was laughing at that part.
I laughed at that one. If we were in the theater, bro, I would have been laughing with you.
Good, bro. We would have started something.
Yeah.
They had so many funny moments, and I mean, they got very serious when it was supposed to, which I really like, and I really like the one scene. So, that's kind of everything I got for this movie. Unless you got something else you want to bring up.
No, I just want to say overall, like I love people just challenging. I also love the idea of them like talking about sex and challenging, you know, their norms, and you know, I do like people advocating to explore and experiment. Like if you are curious, I think people nowadays sometimes like sex shame, and it's just like there's no shame in exploring your sexuality. You want to go get pegged, go get pegged. Go see what it feels like. Like who cares? That's your business.
We're pro pegging on the First Time Pictures podcast.
Yes, we are pro pegging.
This is our first rated R episode, bro.
First time pegging.
Anthony's gonna let us know on the next episode of First Time Pictures.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
11 out of 10 would do again.
Would recommend.
And you know, if we recommend it here, bro, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Okay.
I'm ready to get into ratings.
Ratings? I mean, I got a pretty safe one here. How many other couples would you invite?
Have an orgy with. Invite. Okay.
Invite over to your house for a lovely dinner to watch this movie with. How many couples?
To watch this movie with. Okay. Couples, 10 out of 10 couples.
10 out of 10 couples, really?
I personally
wow.
love this movie. It's a movie I would watch
Wow.
again. I would watch again any day. I'd recommend it and be like if somebody said let's watch a movie, I'd be like, bro, we gotta watch this one. It's so funny. It's so, in my opinion, emotionally gripping. You know, the ending,
Yeah.
like the cherry on top, that shot of them closing in on the window and they're bonding for the first time in forever. Yeah, I absolutely love this movie. 10 out of 10. What about you?
Nice. That's a solid rating. How many couples would I invite over for a lovely dinner?
For an orgy. For you, for an orgy.
Ah, fuck. Damn it. Oh, I guess I'm going to be... I got to get progressive on this episode. Fuck. I'm going to have to invite 6.5 couples. I'm only inviting one of the couples. So 6.5 for me.
6.5?
Like, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. You know, I'm not going to say go watch this movie, and I don't care to really rewatch it again. I mean, the premise is funny, and I think where it goes is also funny. But, you know, just a little, not my cup of tea necessarily. I think that's what it is. I still think it's really funny, and I think leaving the theaters, me and Kaylin were like, no, this is a great movie. We really liked it. But... You know, after watching it that one night, I kind of really forgot about it. And, you know, I did see this movie like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. So it kind of died down for me a little bit. And I don't know. I did think it was funny. I just think it's fine for what it is. So 6.5 couples.
Too many orgies. Too many
orgy talks. Too many pegging talks. I know you like that stuff, so that's why you know, because you're 2 notches above me on the progressive level. So
I'm pro pegging.
Yeah, I know, bro. You know, you just admitted it. I knew that. You know, just told the whole world. We don't shame though, right? We
don't, you know, shame.
We listen and we don't judge.
Yes. Comment down below what your pegging experience was like.
Anthony's dying to hear about it, guys. Comment down below.
I would love to hear about it.
He wants to know how it went for you guys because he'll comment down his experience after you guys comment first. He has some details, guys. Speaking of pegging.
So next week, Spider-Man.
Yes, Spider-Man. Brand new day, bro. Are you hyped going in, or what is your meter at right now? Because I'm going to be honest. I'm in the green. I'm like a little in the green right now. I don't know what you're feeling for this movie.
I've had moments where I'm like super hyped, and then it is a Marvel movie. So I'm skeptical. I'm hyped but skeptical. So my meter's just flat in the middle, you know? I'm like...
Okay,
I'm crossing my fingers. Like I'm going in like hoping it's great, and I want it to be great.
Nice.
But I don't have high expectations for it.
Okay, good. I'm glad you don't have like Disney depression, and you're just like already gonna dog
in
on
the
it.
red.
You know? Yeah. I'm glad it's in the middle.
Definitely not in the red.
I think especially we're rewatching all the Spider-Mans. Me and Kaylin were getting Spider-Man shirts. Like we make it a whole little thing. So. Nice. We're excited for it, and I mean Spider-Man, Tom Holland the GOAT, Zendaya the GOAT. So I'm really excited to see a lot of Zendaya, Tom Holland movies recently. We've been seeing a lot of them.
They've been on it. They've been on fire.
Nice. So yeah, next week's episode, guys, is gonna be Spider-Man, Brand New Day. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please make sure to leave us a review on Spotify and Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, And yeah, follow us on Instagram at First Time Pictures, and let us know in a recent post your pegging experience. We're dying to know.
We're dying to know every detail.
Yeah, don't be afraid, guys. Just comment down below.
Don't skimp on the details.
Anthony will respond. Don't worry. If you want to talk to Anthony, he'll for sure respond.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right,
guys. Peace.